Hello and welcome to the Dorfkrug Cup 21 now. First time we are streaming on English.
Yes,
Hearthstone.
at least Hearthstone.
I'm Naivo and I've got Typhmark with me. And I'm hoping to give you the best of Hearthstone esports in the north of Germany.
Yes, exactly. And we are preparing our tournament once again here in Lübeck in the Dorfkrug. That's why the name is Dorfkrug Cup. And of course, at the location they are still preparing the brackets, and the last of the players are probably just setting up their PCs. So we are already here, and let's talk a little bit about Hearthstone in general, our tournaments, and hopefully it will be a great day of Hearthstone action.
Yeah, a long day.
A long
Especially,
day, as usual.
I guess we got around 16, 18 players waiting.
Here, we have 18 players signed up as of yet,
Okay.
and I think we still have some of our usual suspects that will probably show up and
Always
sign up.
late on time.
Signing up to the tournament then once they are at the location. So probably around 20 players, maybe 21. It always depends. Sometimes players sign up and then don't show up to the tournament.
That's sad a bit, but
Yeah.
there's no starting off fee for the people who don't know us.
Yeah,
Our tournament is every month.
every
got
month.
one?
Yes,
Hearthstone
once a
tournament.
month.
And StarCraft is coming next to you tomorrow, I guess.
Yes, exactly. Tomorrow we will be hosting a StarCraft tournament, the Star Cup 5. You can find all the information either on our website or our bchl.challenge, or you can also go to Liquipedia and search in the StarCraft 2 Liquipedia for Star Cup, then you will find the tournament as well. And just as a disclaimer, if you see me watching to the side a lot of the time, that is because we are doing the production as well now. So
Yeah.
I am then looking to the side to, manage all the stuff that you can see, the important screens.
Yeah, and it's a lot of things to do here
Yeah.
next to our casting. But I'm still looking forward to the new expansion to
Yes,
Hearthstone.
Exactly.
Streets of XXI, I think that's
Yeah,
the
it's
name.
mean Streets of Gadgets, huh?
Yeah, a new bunch of crazy stuff is going to happen, like
Yeah.
with the golems, new legendaries, new. I don't know the special name, but those mixed cards for hunter,
Yeah, the
warrior, and paladin.
it's
For
the
example.
Cabal, the Grimy Goons, and the Jade Lotus. I
Exactly.
think. And these tri-class cards. Well, I'm not sure if that's the exact name, but that's what we were going for, I think. And that's will be really, really interesting.
It's moving more like to more control swing of gaming.
Yes,
Like
that's as well.
bunch of cards just saying if you got only one copy of everything in your deck, it's like Reno decks are going crazy. Especially the new Mage Legendary. I'm looking so forward for this one.
So we basically have to decide as a Hearthstone community, do we still keep calling these decks Reno decks because Reno was the one making these archetypes viable, but now we have a lot of cards that you would use in these kind of decks. So one of decks they are basically one of decks.
Yeah, but I guess the name gonna stay Reno deck.
Yeah,
Because,
I think so.
Everybody knows if you talk about a Reno deck, there's every card just one time
Yeah.
in this deck. Or I don't know, but it's gonna be a bunch of control cards coming out.
Yeah.
Especially for Priest, he got now a 2-drop.
Yes. Once again,
Oh.
Priest is hoping to have early game.
Let's see. It sounds pretty good, actually. It's a 2/3 and every time you heal it, it spawns a 2/2.
Yeah, but that means it has to survive, which is not that easy in the early game. Early game is a lot of about minion trading to just get the tempo, and then if you play your late game cards, that are the ones that can survive. So
That's true.
we'll have to see. The good thing is that if you play it late and you still have some kind of health buff, then it is better than your average.
I guess
mana cost.
you have to combine it with Power Word Shield anyway
Yeah.
to get solid enough on the board to
Yeah.
just stay long enough to get so you get the opportunity to heal it if you want to.
Yeah, but I think the really really important priest card is the Dragonfire Potion. 6 mana, 5 damage to every minion on the board, which is not a dragon. And yeah, that is basically the wave clear that priest desperately needs, especially with Excavated Evil rotating
Yeah.
out of standard next year. So yeah, that will be probably a really really important card for priest to be
Finally,
able to clear the
something
board.
like Light Bomb.
Yeah,
It was. Because
yeah.
Priester's not doing that well the last 2 expansions, so I
Yeah.
hope it's
And
coming a bit back.
another thing that I find really, really interesting is seeing all the new Shaman cards,
Yeah.
because they are pushing for Control Shaman instead of Mid-Range or Aggro Shaman, which has gotten a lot more cards in the last expansions.
Mm.
And now we have the 4 mana, 1 Overload for 6 heal, which is, obviously a control card. You will use that in a control matchup.
Yeah.
To survive the aggro decks. So that will be a change. And then I think one of the big questions is how strong will be the Jade Golems be? Because especially with the Druid card, where the choose one, where you can decide the Jade Idol, where you choose one, either you summon a Jade Golem or you put 3 times this card in your deck.
It's again
So-
something like Raven Idol, turn 1 play, and when you're playing against a druid and he's doing this shit like starting off with Raven Idol or even coin White Grove, you're just sitting there like, oh, really?
Yeah.
It's starting again, so druid's gonna be like Arcane Giants are going to be so big again in druid. You get
Yeah.
a bunch more spells. The
Yeah.
Yogg nerf is good at this point.
Yeah, and what you have to think about is that with this card, Druid will never hit fatigue.
Never. It's
Never.
like
And in the end, you will summon for 1 mana, you will summon like 10 tens and bigger, so you can still use your hero ability and summon gigantic minions, and you will never hit fatigue. So playing against the Druid means you have to win early, because the longer the game goes, the higher the chance for the Druid is to win.
yeah, it's like, or even the value if you say, okay, now I'm going for a Reno control druid with
Yeah.
Elise. You can get so much cards into it.
Yeah,
So
but
you-
on the other hand, with Jade Idol, Reno gets really, really weak.
yeah, but you just need if you like rush down, I guess, turn
Yeah.
6. But it depends if you even need Reno. Like you said, like
Yeah.
you will never go to fatigue.
And we
Yeah.
have to think about Jade Idol will be for 1 year in the meta. So at that point, Elise and Reno are gone. So a lot of the decks that basically say, okay, I have this control deck, and in the end I will just play Elise to get a bunch of legendaries in the window game with them. This is not going to work against this deck, because Elise will only be there for like 3 more months, something like that. I'm not sure how much it is exactly.
I guess, yeah, quarter year.
Yeah. And then you have to win against Druid without Elise. But maybe if Jade Idols are really good, we see a comeback of Big Game Hunter to counter them at least a little bit.
Yeah. The BGH is going big, I guess. I don't know, but there's another big thing coming up with the new expansion, like cards who say give every minion in your hand or 1 minion in your hand +1, +1,
Yeah.
+2, or giving taunt, or it's working so much with your cards on your hand.
Yeah.
You get even more value, even more cards you get.
Yeah, that's another really interesting thing, where these 3 the directions. If you're playing a Grimy Goons class, you have all these buff minions in your hand. If you're playing the Jade Lotus, it's get your Jade. What's Jade Golem? Is it
Jade
right?
Golem,
Yeah, get the Jade Golems, and then you have the Cabal. You have just have a lot of spells and do crazy stuff with spells. So I think it will be really interesting to see if these cards are enough that we go move away a little bit from these 9 classes to basically, okay, I'm playing against the Grimy Goons deck, or I'm playing against a Jade Golem deck. And it's not so much about the class I'm playing against, but basically about which of these 3 factions I'm playing about. That will be interesting to see how much you will be deck building against one of these classes, and how much you will be deck building against these 3 factions, and how much you will be deck building against classes.
definitely. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's gonna be a new meta of Hearthstone. It's gonna be a
yeah,
completely new game.
yeah,
And especially you talked about the control cards. I'm just looking in Hearthstone over the new cards, and there's this new Shaman card for 2 mana, Devolve.
yeah,
You downgrade the opponent's board from 1 mana. So if you get like a Turion against you, you can just say, no, you don't get this death
yeah,
rattle, you don't get it, no, you devolve it. It's so big of a deal what you can do with this new card. It's like unbelievable. Or the new Hunter card. Kriparian already like blamed it, because Hunter always gets good cards.
yeah.
And there is now Rat Pack. It's a 3 mana, 2/2 Death Rattle. Summon a number of 1/1 rats equal to this minion's attack. So if you can even Houndmaster it, or I don't know, like buff it up with your buff cards, and it's get
Yeah.
even bigger and bigger. It's a 3-drop. You can completely fool your board. The fact is, are those rats coming out? Are those beasts or not?
I think they will be beasts. Because
Then
if you
it's
think that a rat pack is a beast, then probably the rats are beasts as well.
then it's gonna be pretty annoying.
Yeah, it feels for me like if they wanted to move away from the Haunted Creeper design, where the Haunted Creeper was a beast, but then the Spectral Spiders were not. Because if you look at the Infested Wolf
Yeah.
and the Kindly Grandmother, these cards summon the same, like,
Beast.
yeah, also they are beast and summon a beast. So it feels to me as if they had, they felt that it wasn't clear that the Haunted Creeper would then not be beast anymore. So the Death Rattle wouldn't summon beast, and feels to me that if that they don't want this anymore. So for me, for example, I was surprised that the the possessed villager, the
Yeah.
thing spawning out of it, I thought it would be a demon.
No, it's not.
But it's not. So and that is also consistent with, like, you have a card that is not a demon, and afterwards it's not a demon with the death letter. So it feels to me like that's the way they want to go. So I'm pretty sure it will be the rats will be
That's a
beasts
good
as well.
point. Yeah, but there's so I don't know. It feels not right to give Hunter this card, in my opinion, because I don't like Hunter. But that's my
Yeah.
opinion.
But I mean, I yesterday I just played like also a Reno mage, and I played against 2 secret hunters, and I was like, okay, yeah, there's going to be the cloaked hunters, and there will be a lot of secrets, and
Yeah.
here we have to deal with this another year. Thanks. But yeah, of course, every card, every class needs good cards, and
But is not Secret Keeper kicked out as well?
no, Secret Keeper is a classic.
Secret Keeper is classic?
Yeah.
I don't like
That's
this card
another
at all.
card we have to deal for a little bit longer.
Yeah, but what I'm excited about, like for Freeze Mage, there's
Yeah.
coming a minion for. I guess it's gonna be good because you play for 1 mana, a 2/1, and your secret costs nothing.
Yeah.
It's a good way just like to tempo out or like to play aggro freeze, like the most of the popular streamers are doing right at the moment. This aggro freeze mage is like a good function, but always there's a new secret for mage, and it's secret polymorph.
Yeah.
If your opponent plays a minion, it's gonna automatically polymorphed. It's going
Yeah.
to be so big in the late game, in my opinion.
Yeah. And the important thing with this is that you always have to remember you don't know what secret your opponent is playing, especially in the ladder. And now you have to play around a lot of different secrets with mage. you have to decide which minion do you summon first, which minion do you attack the priest, the mage with first, because it could be vaporized, especially if there's a babbling book secret. What spells are you casting, and do you cast something first to test for counterspell? But if it's not counterspell, then you maybe wasted a spell. So there's a lot of things where you have to. If there's just a secret plate and you have no board control and nothing and just spells, it's really hard to decide how do you want to play this this turn, because if you play the wrong thing, then you might lose the game because of that. Because if you try a spell and it is counterspell, you might not clear the important card. If you play a minion and it's potion of polymorph or mirror entity, you might also lose. So that will be really interesting. And it's the same situation we now have a little bit with Hunter, who's just getting a lot of secrets at least in turn 3, and then you also have to decide, okay, how do I play this turn? And sometimes even if you spend all your mana, just because you spend it sub-optional to
Yeah.
play around secrets, you will lose the game because you had one sub-optional turn on,
Mm-hmm.
especially in a matchup against an aggressive deck like the Secret Hunter, where every turn, every mana counts a lot.
Definitely right. Yeah. Nothing more to say. But yeah, maybe our viewers are recognizing that I'm really feeling with the mage coming out.
Yeah.
Because Volcanic Potion. 2 damage like Demon Wrath.
Yeah,
It's just damage all minions. So it's again something for the control mage to deal with the all early aggression, like with the Sue deck or
yeah,
oh, pardon, something else. It's like
yeah,
I'm getting so excited of the new expansion. It's going really big, and Hunter got
yeah,
also. This is a really funny mechanic for legendary because Hunter gets now Knuckles.
yeah,
Knuckles is for 5 mana, a 3/7 beast. After this attacks a minion, it also hits the enemy hero. So it ignores taunt
yeah,
completely. You can even hit into a Tyrion and it survives.
yeah. And the important thing here is that Hunter gets a card that can clear the board and still do face damage.
What is this? Blizzard.
And it is a beast, so you can even Houndmaster it.
You get KC of it, you get.
Yeah,
It's going to be big.
yeah,
Okay, if it now gets charged, on top of it, it's gonna be overpowered as
yeah,
hell. But it got no charge.
yeah,
But it's a 3/7 body, so you have to kill 7 on board against the hunter. Like if you're a mage, you need a fireball and a ping. Turn 5, you don't get the mana for it. So
yeah.
fireball, I can blast.
And that's 2 cards to deal with 1 card in an aggro matchup.
That's not value, I
Yeah.
guess.
It will be interesting to see. And yeah, I'm looking forward to a lot of the new cards. But on the other hand, there are also some weaker cards. And I think one of the cards that a lot of people were disappointed with is the Rogue Legendary.
Yep. I have to scroll.
Yeah, we have to find it so that we can show it to you as well.
Here is it
Yeah,
that whatever this card will
yeah,
take
this is
either
the
random
Rogue
card to
Legendary.
your hand from your opponent's class, and again for 3 mana. I like it.
But you have to think it is a legendary, and it is 3 mana, 2/3,
Yeah,
which will most likely get 1 or 2 cards.
but
So
it's in the way I guess Blizzard is feeling it, because over the burgle and everything, like giving me cards from the opponent and reduce their costs. It's like I guess they want to push this more forward.
yeah, but I think a lot of people, and I agree with them, is that it's not fun to play a class where you're trying to get as much of your opponent's class to then beat them with some of your class cards and random cards, some of your class cards and some random cards from your opponent's class.
You can also play just renounce Warlock
Yeah, that's true.
and hoping to not get Paladin. Just
Yeah,
hope and pray to not get Paladin.
but in
and you win.
general, this card and cards like Burgle and so on, if you build a deck around them, then you're building a deck around getting random cards from your opponent's class. And I think a lot of people, especially on the higher levels, don't really want to play a deck where you basically rely on getting good cards
Yeah.
randomly.
Yeah, the random factor is something like a bit itchy,
Yeah,
I guess, because you can't really count on like getting like a flame strike or a Tyrion even or something
Yeah.
from the opponent you really need in this moment, in this situation, like to clear the board or to get back on the board. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting, pretty hard. Like I know this new Murgle
yeah,
Murloc legendary is a bit awkward.
yeah. That's another card
It's a
where
big tempo card, but for 5 mana, it's like, because if you turn 5, 6, and then you start summoning your Murlocs,
yeah, but I mean, a lot of the Murlocs are getting better late game cards. You know, if you look at the Murlocs that are in Classic, you have the 1/1 for 1, which gives all other Murlocs
One
plus
health.
1 attack.
Oh, oh.
And yeah, in general, that is not bad, but it's still a card with 1 health. So there's Druid, Mage, Rogue who just instant cleared because there's basically no taunt with Murlocs.
Mhm.
And then you still have a lot of other effects that can deal at least 1 damage. If you look at Warrior, has the massive amount of whirlwind effects which clear the Murloc. And then you have Cruel Taskmaster, you have Inner Rage, even though Inner Rage is not in most decks, but still it is a possibility. Then you have Priest who has Smite, what is it? Shadow Word Pain, I think is the name. The clear card with 3 or less attack.
Yeah, Shadow Word Pain.
You could even use Cabal Shadow Priest on it because now all the Murloc cards only affect your own Murlocs and not the opponent's Murlocs anymore. So even though in a Murloc deck you will find probably better targets than a 1/1. But yeah, in general, I'm happy that a lot of the Murlocs that are coming out now is if you, for example, look as well at the 6 mana 2/2, which deals, I think it's 2 damage to all non-Murlocs when you play it.
Yeah.
A lot of these cards push Murlocs more into a direction where it's not basically going all in to get the early tempo and advantage because the Murlocs are buffing each other so much.
Yeah, we see it on the Murloc Paladin. Pretty much like with the Anything can happen. That's
Yeah.
called. 10 mana, summon every Murloc which died this game. It's a huge amount of burst in the late game.
Yeah.
It's really big. Because even if you like discover it from Ivory Knight, you can heal you back up over 10 health and get like 3 Anything can happen. And the late game is just like, oh, it's turn 10, Anything. Oh, it's turn 10 still, Anything.
Yeah.
So you're just crushing your opponent down with Murlocs.
Yeah, and then of course there's still the what is the other name? Anything is awesome, I think.
From the Shaman.
Yeah. And now
That's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, now with call in the finishers, you can basically play 4 3/3 Murlocs for 7 mana and give everything else you have on the board +2/+2 as well. So if you already had some totems, then you can buff them as well.
There,
Yeah.
Interesting card as well.
Because anything is awesome gets 1 mana cheaper for every Murloc you have on the field. So playing call in the finishers, you get 4 Murlocs, so this card gets 4 mana discount. So basically you can play it for free then.
No, it's cause others cost not 7 mana.
Yeah.
So 3.
So,
you
but
pay
you can
7 mana for 4 3/3s. That's a huge tempo swing.
Yeah.
But still, on the other side is standing like Flamestrike.
Yeah. Of course, board
Hellfire.
clear is still good. Board clear will not be going away, but it is a nice combo, even though it is only possible to play it until the next rotation of standard.
Yeah. I think it's gonna be interesting what the community is doing out of these new cards at all.
Yeah.
Like which kind of deck is going to push. They're always aggro decks and tempo decks, always. Because if the meter, the current meter is going slower, more control value, the tempo in aggro decks are getting like better as well.
Yeah. And one thing, while mentioning that we will have a new year of standard soon, is what I'm really interested as well in is, do you think they will once again change some of the classic cards? Or do you think this time, especially with the nerfs mid-season, nothing will happen?
I don't know. It's like you see how they try to like change the meter like with one expansion every time. Like even like with the TGT or Whisper of the Old Gods, changed like a lot of things in the meter.
Yeah.
But also there was the nerf about the Abusive Sergeant, the Lebanon, the BGH, Molten Giant.
Yeah. But Abusive Sergeant was in
A bit later.
September. Oh, was it? I think it was September then.
It was down set to a 1/1 body, not 2/1.
Yeah.
But still, it's like, I guess they going to change something what has turned out to be completely overpowered.
Yeah.
You cannot see right now because it's not like played really much, the new stuff.
Yeah.
But I guess if the meta is like for 2 months in, you're gonna see there's a combo like with the classic cards and now the new one who's just like insane good.
Yeah, but I think for a a lot of the cards they changed before were because they were basically in every deck.
Yeah.
You always played BGH as long as there were big minions in the meta, because 3 mana clear minion get a 4/2 buddy on the board was just not a single class card basically had better value than BGH against 7 or higher attack minions. Then you had Lepanome, which was in every single aggro deck. Abusive Sergeant, every single aggro deck, because these cards were just that good. Then you had Blade Fray, which got changed to allow more options. If you think, for example, with this new expansion, if
But it's not hitting face anymore.
no, but it was changed because with the new expansion, hitting face would be too strong.
Yeah.
Because you can get other weapons from other classes easier, especially with all the burger cards. And imagine you have something like a Gore Hall.
7 damage to the board to the face
yeah.
feels good.
So I think that's the reason why they changed that card. But one thing that is also discussed in the community is, for example, Freeze Mage, because Freeze Mage is a deck which has the core of its cards from the classic set.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, this deck will be viable all the time, even though some cards like Thorison will be rotating out of standard. There will be other cards that can fill in for that, especially with the new expansion. There will be new good cards that will fill this gap. And I could imagine that there will be some changes to cards that Freeze Mage uses, even though it is really, really
It's a big loss for Freeze Mage to lose Emperor.
yeah.
But as well for, I don't know, Mali Rogue, for all those combo-based cards with high minions into it, like Malygos is or something else.
Yeah.
It's like a really huge thing to deal with. Or even Warlock.
Yeah.
The one discount on Jaraxxus makes a huge difference, because you can play him and make it Infernal. That's so much value in one turn. And now you're just like... Maybe there's something coming in the next adventure they're planning to do, like play it out, reduce your hand cost for 1 battle cry. It's just one time the effect, but it's still okay.
Yeah, and another thing that I'm really interested in is they already mentioned that they would be, on the BlizzCon, they mentioned that they would be interested in getting more lore to the characters they are developing with Hearthstone, because a lot of the characters that are legendaries now are not cards that exist in World of Warcraft. They're basically inventions from Hearthstone, and they said that they would be interested to have more lore around them.
Mm-hmm.
So will we get like another Mean Street of Gadgetons adventure, basically, for example?
Maybe.
And that would be really interesting to have this set, and then knowing that, okay, the next expansion might also be about the same location, the same flair, and just build upon that and maybe develop new characters. You could have, we have Mukla, the corrupted Mukla, the corrupted Hoggar as well. So we could get new versions of these cards as well in the new expansion. And I would really like that if maybe even the entire year is about one expansion, and you have some more lore around these characters and basically get to know the legendaries better.
Maybe. I'm gonna look forward to that.
Yeah.
If it's gonna be like this. But still, I'm like, they really putting much effort to giving more content to Hearthstone. Like every 3 months there's something happening. Adventure or expansion is coming.
Yeah.
Nothing more to say for me about this.
Yeah.
It's like,
so we have talked in quite detail about a lot of the things we are interested in. So let's check if we have some kind of update from our location and how things are going there. Okay, so we hear that it will still take some time until they will start. So maybe we can talk a little bit about the deck lists we already saw from our players.
I can pick some up here.
I think we shouldn't show them on screen right now.
But we can talk a bit. We don't have to talk about the player which is playing it, but we can say what they bring to a tournament like here. We got we're starting with the first.
So we have a lot of the standard high meta or
Yeah.
best meta deck.
Like
So
we see here a melee druid with Yasharash.
yeah.
That's interesting to put Yasharash in.
Yeah, we have I think already 2 players in the first 10 deck lists that we got who have Druid with Yasharash in it. So something that is coming up in the meta at the moment apparently.
Yeah, but it's a really high drop, like 10 mana.
Yeah,
And this time.
but you're playing with Barnes, so it is another of this. Okay,
Ah,
if I'm lucky, I may get my Ragnaros on turn 4 or my Malygos, and especially in the mirror, if you get your Malygos on turn 4, that's basically a win. Because
that's true.
the as long as the opponent isn't running a mulch, Druid has basically no way of dealing with it. Malygos.
With a 1/1.
No, if you get the if you get Yasharash,
And then
Yasharash
pulling
can
out.
pull Malygos out of your deck.
Oh god.
Because if you look at the deck list, you have especially if you look at the deck list, which cards are good with Barnes? Bloodmage Thanos, good with Barnes. Fenris Stacker, good with Barnes. Asia Drake, not ideal, but still spell damage. Then you have
Terrison.
Thorison, good with Barnes. Sylvanas, good with Barnes. So basically, the worst card you can get out of Barnes is a 1/1 Arcane Giant. But all other cards have some kind of value, especially as in this list we are watching at the moment, the Maya Keeper is not in the deck list, so you can't even
true.
get Maya Keeper. The other one I saw has Maya Keeper still in it, so that's also a card you don't want to get. But you have a lot of cards that are good with Barnes. And if you get the Yasharash and it pulls something else out of your deck, which is really strong, then you're in a fantastic position because you have a 3/4, a 1/1, and something really big on turn 4.
That's true. That's still a gamble.
It's but
But you can win the game, on turn
Yeah.
4. That's true.
But in general, now we talked a lot about the Druid. In general, I think we can say that, the decks will be seeing a lot on stream is Malygos Druid, Midrange Shaman, and I think the third most played is probably the
Mage.
Zulok, this card Zulok.
Uh,
Yeah, maybe Tempo Mage. Tempo Mage
Tempo
is
Mage is a
also...
lot, and as well as the Enzaf Warrior.
Yeah, we actually have 2 Pirate Warriors in the deck list this time as well. So I think we will see a lot of pirate decks, warrior decks, but they will be different warrior decks. They are Cthulhu decks. They're the complete control decks. I think we have 1 dragon warrior as well, and a pirate warrior. So yeah, it will be a lot of warriors, but we will not be sure what kind of warriors it is. So
That's true. We got a new deck list, like
Yeah.
send it in. Oh, interesting.
of course, and there's still Hunter. We will see. We will be seeing
with
secret
double
hunters.
Call of the Wild.
Yeah, and more paladins than last time, I think as well. We
And
have
different types of paladins.
Yeah, as well.
We got the Enzaf Paladin and the
Anything.
Elephant Paladin.
Yeah, but I don't think we have aggro paladins.
No, I didn't see
haven't
one.
seen one
So-
so far.
But still, like, the decks are like most normal build.
Yeah,
Casual, strong, but
and then of course we have some players who enjoy, the atmosphere and playing against other players in personal, I would say.
yeah.
But their goal is not to win the tournament, and they bring in a lot of fun decks to the tournament. One of our classics in that regard is Furby, who is always bringing a lot of interesting decks.
Where we got this man.
So I think we shouldn't spoil at the moment what he is bringing, but maybe we will be able to stream one of his matches, and then everyone can enjoy the craziness of decks he brings to such a competitive tournament.
Yeah, there are a bunch of players as well who are just like really are here to win this tournament. Every time.
Yeah, and we already have some former champions showing up as well.
Yeah.
Alekin has won before. Psycho will be there today as well, I think, who won. Dr. Araki made the finals twice, I think. But
To the finals, yeah.
to the finals, yeah, but I think he
never
he
won
hasn't
one.
won it yet.
No.
I'm not sure if Centro is coming today. He hasn't
Completely no idea.
said
if he's
something beforehand, so I don't know. But he has already won.
Blazer is
two or
not
three
coming.
times. Yeah, Blazer's not coming. So one of our 3 times champions is not here. The other one, Chopper, is also not coming, as far as I know.
I didn't saw any
Yeah,
deck lists.
we can just take a look at the list of participants so far. Oh, it was removed. Oh no.
I can't
Okay,
open it
so
anymore.
sorry about that. We can't show you the list of participants because it was changed. Okay, so yeah, I think it will still take some time before we can start with the tournament.
Since we don't have any participants, yes.
Okay, so I think we will take a short break, and yeah, we'll be back.
In about
Yeah, probably in 10 minutes, something like that.
okay.
And then you will get a new update. So, production value. See you soon.
See you soon. Bye.